But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it easy. I want you to take a screenshot of that. Okay? Take a screenshot of this. This is very important. It's beyond important. Because I really do. It's not you that I'm against. It's what's inside of you. Like I've said, even the ones that I feel that it's close to me, they're a million miles away. Okay, you don't understand. For centuries, the human brain has literally gone through so many lies and generational lies and just deception. That's something you don't know, and you're not even you don't even have it in you to marinate that, thinking about like what I said. You know, you're created to get an instant answer. Okay? So if you get an instant answer, then that means there's no critical thinking. All right? It doesn't matter if you go to these structures and these universities and get whatever. That's just a piece of paper. Those books were put together by very evil people. And you grew into the society that wherever it is that you are. Okay? But, you know, when we're looking at Scripture, and I'll be neutral right now. So if I'm going to go to church and I'm going to be religious, you know, one of the things is signs and seasons. Okay? In Genesis 1:14, he says, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament, lights of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. For signs and seasons. Okay? Now look. This is what we're telling you, okay? You have two different beings right here. Okay? This is two different kinds of beings. So on this side over here, the only season that the average individual truly knows about. Yeah, they know we go into spring and summer and fall and winter, but as Christians and religions used to celebrate going into these seasons. We used to celebrate that. Now we don't. We don't celebrate God's handiwork at all. The only season that we know about is this one. So that's one small example of never knowing the true four seasons. What happens? What is Earth actually going through? Because Earth she's a being. She's which we're I don't want to get into evolution, but we're in a decaying stage, but she's still alive. So that means that Mother Earth, Mother is matter, matter is material. So real material and matter is going to be Earth, which would be having to do over here, true spirit and soul. Over here, material represents materialism. Okay, materialism is going to be Ahrimanic, which keeps you connected to possessions. Because all these toys and all these gadgets and all this stuff is made out of the elements, which is be nature. So when you destroy nature and then you make gadgets out of it, then this gadget is a medium in black magic. So they're using nature as a medium. So our emotions are coming through imitations. And that's something that you can't understand. So I've gave you a couple of very, very important things to marinate on. And the average person will say this: I don't care about none of that. Well, that's because this is all you've ever known. Television, screen, billboards, a digital clock. That's it. Most minds now, they can't even read a clock with hands on it. And see, the hour hand is the sun, and the minute hand is the moon. It's very easy. The clock comes from what's above your head. And you do not have that. You don't have a sundial. That's what we had. That's what we had. And now your Christianity or religion will say, well, no more. We got that's Ahrimanic. That means your spirit and soul's gone. So now instant everything is created in your mind. Does that not make sense? Instead of you knowing about the 12 constellations, like it says, signs and seasons, that's the 12 signs. The 12 constellations have to do with the 12 hours in the PM and the 12 hours in the AM. But you don't have that. You don't have that. And you'll say, I don't fucking care. Okay, well then go to the other side with just that in your head. That's what I'm saying. When you upload brains with all this, then this soul is created through black magic. This is going to be white magic. It's that easy. It's beyond easy. It's not even funny. And see, over here, that's how they can get away with. I mean, think about it. There's no real spirit and soul. It's just death that these people are uploaded with. And I'm coming at you because I love you. You know, they're always on here promoting violence. And see, when you go back to the blackboards, newspapers, TVs, you know, movies, then computers, typing, and then AI. So you have generation born into a circuit, a black magic circuit. So when the blackboard and they were teaching everybody how to read, there wasn't any crime. There really wasn't. For someone to commit a crime, they have to be influenced. Okay? Listen, what's inside of you is not evil, but it is now. So this blackboard generation, okay, that had children and all that, because that's what demons want, to repopulate the world. So let's go forward a decade. Now everybody's a little bit older. We've controlled these people. We've literally ingrained in them like the hardest Billy Graham Christian shit there is. You know, they're afraid to do anything. They're going to burn in hell. Well, now we're going to start sending impulses through the radio, since it's invented, and through the newspapers. And we're going to have some stars out there, and they're going to play out stuff. Then we're going to put in our movies and shows, you know, violent crimes. Even though it's just a movie, Matt. Yeah, but that influences a person. Why would you put... TV is just invented. All right, we're going to make horror movies. They didn't use it to say we're going to farm and grow all this and never go. No. Ever since that has been created and introduced in the middle of the beginning of these generations without none of these crazy impulses. And now here comes these generation, and now all these impulses are going to go into them. And then here comes crime everywhere because it represents demons. So... you don't know anything about the 12 constellations, the 12 systems of the anatomy, the 12 cell salts. You have a salt that goes with each system of the anatomy. And that brings up the medical industry. If you're in that industry, are you not allowed to look anywhere else to say, is this the only way? This is the only way? This is the only way. The only way is this way, by putting billboards up everywhere and spending billions on commercials just to keep saying it. I trust this. I trust this. Are you sure that isn't mind control black magic? Because it is. See, in every one of those beings, those Ahrimanic homunculus, they ain't never had nothing in their brain because they've been developed inside. Instead of knowing all this, they have 12 jurors, 12 grades. You got 12 steps, doesn't matter. But where did it come from? It comes from here. So you're not here. You're here. So until you can get back to over here, see, over here, there wasn't none of this. See, when you create the Google, just Google it. Then your dependence is on this. It's not on critical thinking and saying, I'm going to block everything out. You've got so many distractions coming into you. You've got so many possessions that control you day to day that you don't know anything about. You know, you've got the 12 cranial nerves that are connected to the 12 constellations that literally charge you. In the medical, they'll tell you, no, he's crazy. Why is it's like there's been more death and more destruction since your industry has popped up. Seriously. And it has. you know, those opiates and shit. It's crazy how you have these homunculus. They're so ignorant that they cannot think the millions that have OD'd are taking the same, I'm taking the same shit that they OD'd on. But then they'll say, well, if they've just taken it the right way. Think about that. Okay, so you're going to be part of taking something that can fucking take out millions? Think about it. And that's the Lord's medicine. So the Lord's medicine has a side effect of eradicating individuals, literally, physically. That's no Jesus, and that's no God. That right there that's over here. That's over here. Over here is herbs and spring water and food from the ground. Yeah, over here is chemicals. This is a chemical being created from birth that's seen sodas and everything, never created to know about water, nothing at all. So one day they might see this video, what's in them, which is an entity, will run. Because they heard it their whole life. If it can't be proven, okay, demon, bye. Can I see it? No, can't see it. Remember, forever we were outside looking up, knew we were not fucking moving. And then the Jesuits all went inside. They dumbed down society because they destroyed everything. So you got to remember, everybody's running around dumb. We're demons. We're going to make them dumb. And then we're going to create the printing press because we're demons. And then we're going to recirculate all this fucking garbage now. Hell yeah, look at this. And then everybody, all these little minds of homunculus grow into all this. The printing press is created to press down, to keep you down. And it's the Jessies, these demons, pushed all these books, mass produced them, which were all black magic lies. And it had to do with materialism, and then to start ingraining the generational, you know, thinking and thoughts, because it's going to be materialism, which is already demonic. Because at one point in time, a long time ago, you would have dreams. Your blood was connected to your bloodline that had passed, you know, whether it be your, however far back, you could have visions of their life. Just like how you have dreams. Oh yeah, I watched that and I had a horrible dream. Okay, that's influenced into your nervous system, because in black magic you control the nervous system. But yet if you're looking up and all that, then what controls your nervous system? The etheric field and the magnetic field and all the groups and soul conscious beings of soul and spirit that there is out there. Instead, you're inside, controlled by black magic channeling. The channels are channeling. It says, we return now to your regularly scheduled programming. Programming? What the fuck? What do? You program a computer. Well, that's exactly right, because the brain is a computer. Okay? Now listen to me. The gematria is real. This is all real. I'm giving it to you in the easiest way possible. But see, it's just like in the Matrix, and Morpheus tells Neo, he says most people will not. You got to be careful telling somebody the truth, because after so long, the brain will not come around. Plus, too, you know, you're fighting, truthfully, kids' toys and shit. Think about all the toys you played with space and, you know, and cartoons, and you need to think about certain emotions you display. Does it come from a fucking cartoon? Because if it does, you're a black magic script. That's what I'm saying. And you got all these children running around. It doesn't matter how old they are. They can be in their 40s. They're 2. They're 2 years old in the fucking brain. The only thing they know how to do is follow a screen. That's not a real human being. That's not real. That's not real. Why is there fucking signs everywhere? Well, that's to distract you from the truth. The more the lights, the more you can't see what's above your head. The more bigger the cities, the bigger the buildings, the bigger the walls. You'll never see outside. Oh, look, there's a little town square, which has to do with Saturn. There's a tree there. Yeah, it's not real. In a real world, you wouldn't build this high. You would spread it all out. Instead, they've crunched everybody against each other and then gave them these devices, black magic, and then they pump into these fucking different groups, demonic groups, these impulses, and then they watch these black magic news, and then they go play it out there. It's not hard to see it. It's really not. And I do love you. you know. But I'm going to destroy that inner weakness that you have in you that comes through AI and them screens that you've had your whole life. There's no easy way out of it. You have to break your fucking conscience, okay? I'm being serious. Serious shit has to happen. Nobody's just going to pop out of it. You know, think about it. Just look at them. They're not hard to see. They're all created inside. They just sit there and watch their little screen, and then they watch their little black magic commercials with the fake sounds and tones, and then it impulses them to go buy their product, and then it makes them worse. And then they get on there and go, did you catch it? And then they go buy more shit, and then they get worse, and then they die. Yeah, and the whole time they don't even fucking know that they did it to themselves. If they had ignored every fucking bit of it, they'd be fine. But they can't, because this is all they've ever known. This is all they have ever known right here, is that. That's it. And on this side right here this is demons. This is all demons. Jury comes from conjuring. And that's who you don't have this. This is what these few examples was here before this. Before this, we had this. And now you're dealing with these. There's no brain. They're empty. And we still love them, but I'm still going to blast them. I love you.